Hi, welcome to the Fans POV after show. We're over at Somerset, New Jersey for AnimeNEXT 2013. I am here with somebody who I have actually followed for a really good amount of time, and actually pretty pleased to do this interview with him. So, just for the sake of the interview, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Paul Weinstein. I perform under the name Chipocrite. I make music with original Nintendo Game Boys, sometimes accompanied by other instruments, but primarily I use the Game Boy as a synthesizer.
All right. One question I definitely have to ask, what influence do you really start using Game Boys and all that to actually make music?
Yeah, it's a good question. I've always loved the sound of the 8-bit sound, I guess, the old Nintendo sound, the old video game sound. And it's a sound that I always wanted for guitar, to be honest. It's a song I always wanted it for bass or guitar. I always wanted my instruments that I was playing live to sound like a Nintendo. And I've only been doing this chip music stuff for about 4 years. Chip music is the genre, or the style, I guess. And before I knew about people actually using original consoles, I was just thinking, how could I run my guitar through a pedal or something that would make it sound like a Nintendo? And I had no idea how to do it. I didn't understand how those chips worked. I really just didn't get it, but I knew the sound, I just didn't know how to get to it. So a couple years ago when I discovered that people were actually using consoles, I was just like, well, that's even kind of better. Why run my guitar through something when I could use the original hardware and just tell it what notes to play? Yeah. So that's how I got started with it. And as soon as I discovered people were doing it, I became kind of obsessed with learning how to do it, and I just dove right in.
Yeah. You've been here you've been coming to for 3 years, right? This is your third one? This is your third year. All right. Based on just your experiences, every single year you've been here, has there been anything really notable and really just kind of that will stay with you forever throughout your, your con experience?
Sure. With this convention in particular, first of all, the one that I played 3 years ago, which I think was the first one I ever met you at, right?
Yes, that's definitely true.
That was the first anime convention I ever played at all. I had played a couple of video game conventions. There's a convention outside of Philly called Too Many Games. Yeah. Played that one a couple times to small mixed audiences, and I guess just some other small little things like that, but I'd never played a proper anime convention, and I was completely blown away. I couldn't believe how awesome the response was. Here's an example. This will stick with me forever. That convention, before I left, I grabbed 20-something CDs, 22 CDs with me to sell. Because I've never really sold more than that at a gig. Especially a gig that it was a completely new community, new people who'd never heard me or whatever. So I was like, whatever, maybe I'll make some travel money, I sold those 23 CDs in about 8 minutes. I just completely ran out of them, and it was the best and most pleasant surprise ever, and it really got me amped, and it really made me excited to play more conventions like this, and it made me feel like this was a really awesome crowd that, I'm so used to. A lot of people get the chiptune scene is so insular, I guess, or just you end up playing shows with the same other chip artists, and you just you play to the same chip audience and stuff, which is great. It's a great community, but obviously there are a ton of people in the world who would love it if only they knew about it.
Yeah.
So anime conventions are great ways to reach new crowds like that, and every time I talk to somebody here and they're like, I never knew anybody was doing this, it's so cool, I love it, I'm kind of just yeah, I know, I feel like a lot of people here would. Yeah. So it's great. It's going to stick with me forever that I'm reaching a new audience, and they're so responsive. The dancing, people dance, but nobody. The way you guys get into it here is on another level. Yeah. And I will always think about that when I think of AnimeNEXT. It's amazing. It's fantastic.
Actually, yeah. I myself was guilty of that. The first year, I'm pretty sure you obviously saw it, where me and my friend basically started a conga line at one point in time, and apparently it's a running tradition, so that's definitely something that I really enjoy.
Running tradition.
Yeah, running tradition, there you go, yeah. One thing that you did mention is that you actually are making a song or music for a game on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah, how does that feel? To actually have people who play the games and listen to your music and know that, and then knowing that that's you. So
that is going to be really exciting. The games are not exactly out yet. I have a couple games in progress in works right now. I played the song that I played last night was from a game called Pixel Lincoln, which is it was actually originally going to be designed for DS. Like it was going to be on a cartridge or whatever, and I thought that was pretty neat. I was kind of looking forward to that. Somewhere through the development cycle, they decided to do it and program it in Unity instead, which can be kind of ported to many different platforms. So that's going to be on Steam, hopefully mobile apps and stuff. And I'm really looking forward to it. I've played early builds of it, and it really has like it's like a retro kind of platform game. So it has a great old school kind of feel. It feels like you're playing a Nintendo game, but you're not. It's modern. It has great animation, and it's like it's got a modern sense of humor and stuff. But like hearing my music accompanying it is very, very exciting. Also exciting, I'm also working on music for a game it was originally called Dragon Runner, but we're changing the name to Earth Knight. We had an early build of it at MagFest. If anybody was at MagFest this year in January, we had an early build of it, and it was like I'm not trying to brag, but it was like the most well-received game in the indie development room. I mean, we heard from so many people that they loved it. We heard from organizers that people were raving about it all weekend. And my song that I played last night, Little Computer People, that's like the main soundtrack song right now. So that'll be in the game, plus a whole bunch of other new songs. And I just can't wait for that to get out because it's already gotten so well received, and it's not even close to being finished, and it's going to be one in a good way. I mean, it's not even close to being finished. I think it's going to be really awesome, and I hope to do more stuff like that. It's another great way to like get your name out there and reach people, and just all I want to do is make music and have people listen to it. So I'm happy to do it to accompany games, to play shows. It's all great for me. It's really exciting and awesome.
All right. Well, I mean, that's actually pretty awesome to hear that. I mean, the fact that like I myself have been in like into chiptune for a good amount of time. I have like a one specific friend who got me into it, and from there I was hooked. So I can pretty much tell you that was kind of like, I guess, something, because it was interesting. Like you mentioned before, it's like people who have never heard of it, like who just like the music from like old games and all that, to be able to hear it and like in different and unique ways. Like as somebody who does that's actually really, really awesome. So, I mean, beyond that, is there, I mean, anything really big new for you? Like as far as maybe like trying like a different style of like chiptune music, or do you or is mostly like guitar and all that like really going to be like your thing for most of the stuff?
I'm hoping to always be experimenting with new stuff. There's just so many things you can do, I recently about a year ago, I got a Commodore 64, a C64, which has a really different sound chip than the Game Boy or the Nintendo or anything. And even more recently, I got a special cartridge that runs on it. It's called Messiah. It has a MIDI port on it, so you can hook up a keyboard, or you can sync it with other MIDI devices and stuff. And as soon as I have time, I'm gonna learn how to track on that, and I'm hoping to sync it up with Game Boy stuff. So give myself a couple extra channels to work with, and like the sound chip again is so unique, it'll kind of add a different level of sound to my songs, and I think that'll be really fun. It'll be kind of unique. I mean, some of the sounds in the C64, it sounds like a high-end synthesizer. It doesn't just sound like video game music, so I think that'll be pretty neat. And I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, the guitar stuff is relatively new, like playing guitar instead of bass. Ideally, I would play both. I was hoping to bring bass and guitar, because actually, I don't know if you noticed, it's not very obvious. The way I get all the guitar sounds and everything, I'm running it through my computer. I have software on my laptop. It's called Guitar Rig, and it emulates amps and effects and stuff. So I actually have a guitar patch and a bass patch. So when I switch to bass, I can just like select the bass rig and just go to that. So it's like I can bring anything with me and switch off without bringing a million amps and a million different effects and everything. So I mean, there are so many possibilities, and I'm just looking to explore all of them. I want to, I don't know, whatever people like. As long as people are into it when I do it, I'll keep doing it.
All right. So one final question, and this is going to be completely like from left out there. This is actually one from my friend Montana, who you unfortunately again hasn't been able to come. If you could be a captain of any ship, what kind of captain, what kind of ship would it be?
Oh my God! Wow, captain of a ship. That's really hard. Like actually driving kind of captain.
Oh, just any kind of captain.
I don't really. Captains don't just like. I guess they physically just steer and they command, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the cliche best answer is the P-Funk George Clinton mothership. I would love to be the captain of that. I don't think I could pull it off. I mean, those guys are a lot cooler than I am.
Right.
But if I somehow got to that level of coolness and I could land that thing on the stage and it opens up with the smoke and the lasers and everything, and if I could be in charge of that, I would die a happy man.
Right.
That's all I need to do.
All right, so just for you, Montana, Paul does actually want to be a captain of a ship. So, all right. Well, once again, thank you. Like seriously, like it's always a pleasure to see you. And at that point, this is my Ricardo. I'm here with Chipocrite, and at that point, we will see you later. Thanks for watching.